50, 45, there goes Davis.
Oh my God!
Davis is going to run it all the way back. Auburn's going to win the football game. Auburn's going to win the football game. He ran the missed field goal back. He ran it back 109 yards. They're not going to keep him off the field tonight. Holy cow. Oh my God. Auburn wins. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl in the most unbelievable fashion you will ever see.
Oh, welcome in, everyone, to a brand new edition of the Dream Wager, episode 457. Today is October 21st, 2024. And Elvis, the boys are hot. We got our mojo back. How the hell you doing, kid?
So we having a great weekend. Overall, great time at the wedding.
Yeah.
And the boys are cashing on this fine Sunday. So great weekend.
Yeah, we'll get into it, but amazing week 7 here in the NFL. Outside of me not cashing out the dog, Elvis sweeps the board. My teaser cashes, my lock cashes. College was a good week. We'll talk about your Texas Longhorns real quick. But yeah, we'll talk about the weekend that was. We got a doubleheader down in Tampa Bay. We got Ravens at the Bucks at 8:15. Late game here on the second window. Chargers in Arizona to take on the Cardinals at 9 o'clock. And then, Monday, we'll see if there's a Game 7 recording this Sunday night. So we'll see what happens with that Mets and Dodgers series. But yeah, we have opening night on Tuesday in the NBA. Elvis, I know you are so happy. It's finally here. 2-game doubleheader. The Knicks at the Celtics, great game. And then the T-Wolves and Lakers at the nightcap. So before we get into all that, kid, let's start in Sunday. We'll start with London. I mean, the first series looked kind of good. Honestly, not first series. First quarter looked good with Drake May. He threw for over 250 yards, 2 touchdowns. I thought the kid played good, but that second quarter, I mean, it just opened up, and you guys could never really recover from that second quarter. But Jacksonville, they cover. They win 32-16. Thoughts on Drake May? Second game, he didn't throw any picks, only sacked twice. I thought he played pretty good despite the loss.
Yeah, Dale, real quick, just driving back from the wedding. I'm watching the game on my phone. We're driving. Shout out my boy Kevin Duba. Patriots looking good. We go on a nice first drive. Drake May throws a touchdown. Next possession, boom, we get the ball, kick a field goes 10-0. I just pulled up to the house. I take the dogs out. I go upstairs, get a cup of coffee. I go check my phone. It's 14-10. I'm like, what's going on? And then I start watching the game again. Fucking punt return, Dale. I was like, oh, things got out of hand quick, but good stuff for the Jaguars. Jaguars, good win for them, but at the end of the day, I love what I saw from Drake May. Another good game from him. Second career start, 26 for 37, 2 tutties, 276. Now, I even leaned his over passing prop. It was at 206. I was like, it's a little low. I understand he's going overseas, but from just what he did the week prior, though, he looked good. So 26 to 37, I can honestly say is I love what I've been seeing from Drake May so far. Sucks that, it came in a loss still, but hey, it steps in improvement. So love what I saw from the kid. We cash on the lock of the weekend on Hunter Henry over 29.5.
Would you cash that in like 5 minutes?
The first 2 possessions of the game, it was already cashed. First completion was 15 yards for him. So great game for Hunter, but solid win for the Jags. Drake May looking good though. So
yeah, Tank Bigsby's definitely their number one. We've said it for about 3 episodes already, but no, I
had him in my bench. He had like 25.
Oh my God, 26 carries, 118 yards, 2 tutties. The rookie out of LSU continues to have a great season. Yeah. Brian Thomas Jr.
As right now, all the hype was on, Neighbors and Marvin Harrison. As of right now, he leads all rookies in receiving yards.
Yeah, and he's really showing out. Doug Peterson has his job. I said it. This was going to be his last win as a Jaguar. So we'll see.
Loss. It would have been his last loss as a Jaguar.
No. This is going to be his last win. He's not going to win a game after this, and he's going to get fired. That's my hot take.
Wow. That's a hot take.
That's my hot take. That's my hot take. Oh, man. All right. So, yeah, you guys lost, but, improvement. I do like Hunter Henry had a great game. I do think Drake May is good. Are you worried? I know they won, but Jacksonville acclimated with the time zone. They stayed there for a week. it was kind of worrisome to me that they started off so slow. It kind of felt like you guys have been there for the week. You guys started off fast, on rhythm, in point, driving up and down the field. I said, oh shit, it looks like New England's been the team that's been here over a week. Are you worried about this moving forward for Jacksonville?
I wouldn't, just because I'm not gonna really expect much from them. I think this was a game they should have won. They were what, 5.5 point favorite. They
Yeah.
should have covered it. You got the number one pick and a $250 million quarterback. Then you got the third overall pick that's a rookie. Trevor Lawrence, you should have won this game by at least 6 points or more. So you got to give him credit. But one thing I can say is our first possession, and honestly first two possessions, were very well scripted, and I think we caught the Jaguars just a little off guard on how well Drake May could honestly move the ball down the field. That's all.
100%. I think it kind of caught him surprise. Like, oh,
Yeah,
the kid could actually sling it.
And not for nothing, he got a few first downs running the ball as well.
Yeah.
So
that's what he does better than Jacoby Brissett as well. So, dog of the day, Cassius. I mean, 34 to 14. Seahawks go into dome. The game goes over. I told you in dome games, Geno Smith is gonna out here shining. Even Jackson Smith and Jigba had a nice 35-yard throw as well. It was nice to see Michael Penix Jr. get in. He had one completion for 14 yards, but regardless of a big day on the ground from Bijan Robinson, Kenneth Walker on his birthday, he had a touchdown. DK had a good game. I know he left the game, but it's nothing serious, they said. But overall, it was their defense, I thought. 2 interceptions from Kirk Cousins, not his best game at home. But, yeah, little happy birthday to Kenneth Walker. Big game on his birthday.
Yeah, shout out Kenneth Walker. I had this dog of the day. I didn't expect this. I didn't expect a 20-point victory. I expected Seattle just to go out there and perform well after losing 3 straight games. I said Atlanta just for some reason not able to get after the quarterback. And if you give Geno Smith time, he's gonna dice you up, Dill.
Yeah.
He didn't really kill you today with just 207 yards, but the running game was there as well, and his defense stepped up. The defense got a scoop and score. So it was a great overall game from Seattle. And then for Atlanta, I'm not going to overreact too much. Kirk Cousins, it was a bad day, not a horrible day, with the 2 picks, the strip 6. But other than that, 24 for 35 was pretty solid. Michael Pittman Jr. came in. He went 1 for 1. That was nice. Bijan ran the ball well. That's a couple weeks in a row now where he's getting his rhythm back. If Drake London comes down with that ball, maybe things get a little interesting, but ended up being a pick. But other than that, Dill, I'm not going to overreact with the Falcons. Solid win for the Seattle. Let's see if that defense can keep it rolling.
Yeah, Mike McDonald is from Georgia, so it was a nice reunion for him as well. So, he was going to have the boys prepared. And, yeah, they do snap their losing streak as well. So, yeah, big win for Seattle. Buffalo, they continue to roll 5-2 on the year. Really nothing Mason Rudolph could do. They started off the game pretty well. It was 10-7 going into half, and then they just couldn't score in the second half to save their life. 27 unanswered points. The Bills wind up covering. Did the game go over? Yes, the game went over as well. But, yeah, big game from the rookie. This is finally his best game. 4 catches for 125 yards. He had that long 57-yarder as well.
Almost had a touchdown, too. Just
almost.
Get that right toe down. So
yeah, almost. Ray Davis, he had a good game. Josh Allen he's playing at an elite level right now. Over 320 yards, 2 touchdowns, only 1 sack. I didn't think Mason Rudolph played all that bad. They just really couldn't get anything going offensively, especially in the receiving. I thought Tony Pollard had a pretty good game, but outside of that, I don't know, kid. I just don't think this team is that good.
Yeah. Tennessee's just a bad team. Even if Will Levis is in there, I do think both of us agree. Mason Rudolph is definitely the better option right now, but he couldn't honestly. Right now, Buffalo's they're rolling. Josh Allen, we've been saying he's been playing at MVP level. This was his best day throwing the ball through the air. They'll 323. Amari Cooper didn't have a monster game, but he opened things up. Now you have Keon Coleman. He's having a huge impact. Shakur is still doing his thing, 7 receptions, 65 yards. Kincaid is getting open. The addition of Amari Cooper is going to be a great addition. It's going to be very impactful because, one, he's a true number 1 wide receiver that they needed, and it's going to open up other guys who's going to be able to make plays. So I think this is going to be a great move, and we saw on display in just 5 days after the trade.
Immediately.
Immediately it clicked, Dill.
Yeah.
Something's growing in Buffalo, and with Tennessee, Dill, it is what it is. Mason Rudolph, I think he'll get the starting job for a couple of weeks, and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Bad loss
Oh, and
for.
real quick,
Yeah.
I gave y'all two people. I gave y'all two locks.
Yeah. Mari Cooper.
No,
Calvin Ridley.
Calvin Ridley, over 39.5 receiving yards, people. I gave back-to-back for y'all. Tell you Hunter Henry and Calvin Ridley. I gave y'all two locks. Two locks.
You said you guys pick whichever one you like. They both gonna cash.
Yeah, I said Hunter Henry, though. Hunter Henry is my favorite one, but both should cash.
Yeah,
and
both should. We'll talk real quick about, and we don't really have to talk too much. Bengals get the win 21-14. I think the biggest story, obviously, is Deshaun Watson tearing his Achilles. Tough blow, even though, not the best guy, and he's kind of been the worst football player past, 2-3 years now. But it does suck, seeing the towel over his head. You saw the pop in his right leg. Very unfortunate. DTR did come in. Jameis Winston came in as well. But I think this is good for the team. It was good to see Nick Chubb get in the end zone. That probably felt so good for Nick Chubb to finally get back into the end zone. But we need to break out Jameis Winston. I think he's the only savior they have at saving their season. They're probably done at sitting at 1-6. But the only hope they have now is bring back Jameis. At least he'll make it fun.
Yeah. And to be honest, I'm surprised they had to put DTR in there over Jameis. He was. So I was kind of a little surprised by that. I think Jameis at least deserves to be, the second string. We'll see if he's the starter moving forward. Hopefully he is. But, for Deshaun, Dill, I'm not going to beat a man when he's down. It was a bad season for him. Hopefully he could recover, Dill. But I'm going to be honest, I wouldn't be shocked if this is the last we've seen from Deshaun Watson. So
ever or just in a Browns uniform?
Ever.
Wow.
Realistically, you think how many teams are going to line up for him?
Yeah, I don't. He's just
not gonna
bad.
Be many. And Browns have him under contract. We'll see what he's gonna do. Maybe they release him. Who knows? But honestly, hope he has a speedy recovery and he's hopefully healthy come next year, September.
We had 2 game-winning field goals, and we'll start in Green Bay at Lambeau. Brandon McManus hits a game-winning field goal for his first game ever as a Packer. What a feeling. They win at home 24-23. Jordan Love played a really good game. Besides the 2 picks, I thought he played pretty well. Over 220 yards. Josh Jacobs, he had a pretty good game as well. Romeo Doubs went for 94 yards. Tucker Croft, I thought he had a nice touchdown as well. Joe Mixon continues to run the ball well for Houston, but just didn't really do enough passing the ball. That was the big problem. They couldn't pass the ball. They saw it in the pregame. You saw Stephon Diggs with Jair Alexander getting into it. I mean, buddy, I know you caught 5 balls, but for 23 yards, you have nothing to say. Anyone, Dalton Schultz,
anyone
Tank Dell.
Got it.
What happened?
Anyone got it.
I'm telling you, it's insane. Everyone should be holding their head down except Joe Mixon today.
Yeah. Dale, we knew coming in that the Packers secondary was elite. They came in leading the league in interceptions. They didn't get one today, but we saw C.J. Stroud worst game of his young career.
Yeah.
Definitely. It came into Green Bay, and to me the crazy part to me is they were in position to win the game. It came down to a 50-yard field goal. Yeah. And McManus had to hit it twice.
The timeout, yeah.
Ryan called the timeout, so he had to do it twice, man. So, Houston's still a 5-2 team, still on top of the division. They'll be just fine. A little side story. This is my Super Bowl matchup.
Oh, wow.
I have a feeling these teams will meet again. I have a ticket in right now. I'm going to find it. I'm going to sign in. But I do believe these teams will not just possibly meet this year in the Super Bowl, but I could guarantee we will see Jordan Love versus C.J. Stroud in the Super Bowl in the near future. I could almost guarantee that these 2 young guys are going to be special for the next decade, maybe plus. So, great win for Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers, not going to 5-2 as well. still, that AFC North is fucking loaded.
Yeah,
So
it
we might
is.
see 4 playoff teams come out the AFC North, depending how things work
Yeah,
out.
it's insane. Yeah, no, there's one of the best divisions so far through 7 weeks. We'll just touch real quick. Colts win 16-10. This game fucking sucked. Tyler Huntley, I tried to
He
stick
got
up for
hurt.
him. I know, but like even Tim Boyle didn't look good either. If I'm being honest, Devon A-Chain, he tried to do everything he could. Raheem Morris had 11 carries, but Jonnu Smith was the only one that was kind of carrying the team. And I don't know. I just thought this would be a good pick for them. I didn't envision Tyler Huntley going down, but Tyreek Hill can't have one catch. Jalen Waddle can't have one catch, kid. Like, that's just unacceptable. I don't care who the quarterback is. You have to find your best receiver, force feed him the ball. But Anthony Richard came back. He didn't play all that terrible, I thought. He didn't light it up, but he had a few good runs, had a few good passes. He had that long pass to Michael Pittman Jr. on the sideline. But outside of that, they did just enough to get the win at home. Another shutout in the second half for Miami's offense. Not a good team.
Yeah, Dale. Give credit. I think Anthony Richardson, coming off an injury, played pretty damn well. All coming off an injury, you got to put some perspective in it. Miami, I feel bad for Mike McDaniels because he's honestly a good offensive mind. He has a talented running game scheme. Dale, it's just right now it's hard to do it with, let's just say, horrible quarterback play. We know Huntley was a Pro Bowler, but he ended up getting hurt. And when Tim Boyd came in, I understand he went 8 for 13, but we know he's not good, Dill. Give credit. The Colts are 4-3. Posse can make some noise. We'll see. But overall, Anthony Richardson, he got to be more consistent. It's 10 for 24. You're not going to win many games like that. You're lucky you win against this Miami team. So I'm going to give some credit for pulling off a victory, Dill. But we need to see the 4th overall pick from last year be a little more consistent and live up to the high overall pick.
The second game-winning field goal goes to Jake Bates and the Lions. I picked a dog outright as my lock, and I didn't think it was going to be this close, if I'm being honest. A little surge in the fourth quarter from the Vikings. They scored 12 points to cut it to 2 points. But, yeah, great game, I thought, from both teams. I thought both teams ran the ball well. Montgomery did get hurt. He did return. He wasn't his normal self, but Jahmyr Gibbs had a great game, 2 tutties for over 116 yards. Aaron Jones had a touchdown, 14 carries for 93 yards. Both quarterbacks were sacked 4 times. Jared Goff didn't throw an interception, though. Amon-Ra St. Brown had a really good game. He had that nice touchdown in the back of the end zone. Justin Jefferson, he went crazy as well. So both offenses looked good. Are you surprised they put up 31 points on this defense?
Not really, Dill. Just because, this is like a couple weeks in a row now, especially like the last 3 out of 4. Jared Goff has been rolling, Dill. Remember a couple weeks ago, he was almost perfect.
Yeah.
Dill, 22 for 25. At one point, he was 11 for 12 in this ball game, Dill. Jared Goff has been very special. As past few weeks, Dill, he's been playing at an MVP level. Like I said, almost another perfect game, 2 tutties, high QBR 87, rating of 140. Jahmyr Gibbs had a monstrous day. Another one I go over, 116 rushing on the ground. David Montgomery, if he doesn't fumble and Vikings pick it up for that scoop and score, though, I think Detroit puts it away, earlier, early in the fourth quarter. So give credit for Vikings for making things interesting and fighting back. But we've seen back-to-back weeks now them explode in Dallas and now take down arguably one of the best teams in NFL in Minnesota Vikings at their home. You got to give him credit. And for how well he played against Brian Flores in that defense, when we see so many great quarterbacks struggle and throw multiple interceptions against that defense, I think we got to give Jared Goff his props still. And for the Minnesota Vikings, still, you still play great. Sammy D, 22 for 27, about 260. You do throw one pick, but I'm not gonna kill him. Aaron Jones ran the ball well. Sammy D even got some yards as well. Justin Jefferson had the tutty, good game. Nenor Addison. So Vikings played well, honestly. Even got like I said, the scoop and score. It's just right now Detroit is playing like the best team in football. That's all.
Sick interception by Brian Branch. Did you see that?
No.
Oh
honest,
my!
I didn't.
I encourage everyone, if they didn't see it, Brian Branch, sick interception out of Sam Darnold. I thought that was fantastic. It was early or maybe late first half, early second half. But yeah, sick interception by Brian Branch. But yeah, big win. There are no more undefeated teams in the NFC now. They fall to 5-1, and now Detroit in sole possession of first place. Let's go to the Meadowlands. Eagles and Saquon Barkley. Welcome home, kid. What a game he had. 17 carries, 176 yards, 1 touchdown. Jalen Hurts played pretty good. Didn't really light it up outside of that one throw to A.J. Brown.
He
Kind
wasn't
of a
asked to do
mild
much.
day. Yeah, kind of mild day. And I'll give this. Giants front seven, they lead the league in sacks. They really were getting after him. They had 4 sacks on the day, but the story was Jalen Carter in the Phillies front seven. Daniel Jones sacked 7 times, just couldn't get the run game going. Malik Neighbors only 4 catches for 41 yards. They just played like shit, if I'm being honest. But yeah, big game. AJ Brown goes over for me. That was a big cash for me. But yeah, solid win for the Eagles on the road.
Yeah, I know people hate this term, but if this was like a game manager, today was the perfect game manager day for Jalen Hurts. Still, 10 for 14, one tutty, 114 passing. Yeah, he punched one in as well. Well, 2. He got 2 Philly tush pushes. But the story was Saquon Barkley in that defense still. And I think honestly you're gonna have to come around and give that defense a little credit. I know we both was kind of on them last year in the first 2 weeks of the season, but ever since their that game against Tampa, though, that defense has been playing at a high level, and we've seen how Tampa's offense has been exploding these past couple of weeks. So Philadelphia's defense finally got it clicking. Got to give him credit. Jalen Carter's playing like a fucking dog. But Saquon had himself a day, Dill. 17, 176 in the tutty. I know the Giants fans were hurting today. The front office. I'll fire somebody in the front office after today. Personally, and to be honest, I know a lot of people saying that Daniel Jones got benched. I think Brian Daboll was out there protecting his fucking quarterback. That's all.
Yeah,
He
I
got
don't think he
sacked
was
7
benched
times.
either.
Yeah. Come on now, people.
Jalen Carter needs to be double teamed at some point because the guy up front is
He's
just
evolving.
a beast.
He's evolving, Dill. He's evolving.
100%. He's going to be a really good player for years to come. And you heard Saquon say it after. He spent so much time hugging coaches and teammates. He goes, it's all love. Like, the media makes it out to be something bigger. He goes, I have nothing but love for this organization. They drafted me. I have friends for life on this team. I have coaches I respect. He goes, but at the end of the day, they told me business is business. They told me to go out and find a team, and I did. I mean, and he put it on him. I think he made an emphasis.
He kind of went home. He played at Penn State. He's from South Jersey. Like, everything made sense.
Yeah, it did. It made too much sense, if I'm being honest. And that's why the front office, let's be honest, they're not a good move.
They had a feeling.
Of course. You got to be stupid not to think that, kid. Let's go to the 4:00 window. Rams, they almost tried to fuck my teaser up late. But the Rams, they do win, get their second win of the year. Gardner Minshew comes in for Aiden O'Connell. They think he broke his right thumb on his throwing hand following through one of the passes. But, yeah, outside of Brock Bowers, who is a stud, that kid is phenomenal. Outside of that, this team is dookie. This team is really bad. Karen Williams is good. He had 2 touchdowns. They didn't really need Cooper Kupp. He was expected to play. Game time decision. They said, you know what, we're going to sit him. We have a short week on Thursday Night Football they play, so maybe he'll be ready on Thursday. But, yeah, no Cooper Kupp. Tutu Atwell, he had a good game. Tyler Johnson. Matthew Stafford didn't throw a touchdown, but he did have that 1 pick. Gardner Minshew threw 3 picks. Bad quarterback play today.
Yeah, bad quarterback play. Give credit to the Rams still. But this is another one. I said it. I would have took the +7 with the Raiders. I just didn't get there. Would have cashed on that one as well. I can't honestly. I honestly hope Cooper Kupp plays Thursday. And I hope Puka Nacua comes back because we saw the Rams make that late season surge last year and sneak their way into the playoffs with that 6 seed, I think, or 7 seed. Still, I'd be interested to see if the Rams was able to pull something out their ass and do it again. So, hey, let the Rams keep building these games. Let Puka Nacua, let Cooper Kupp get healthy. Hey, you might want to watch this team at the end of the season.
Sean McVay just came out in his post conference literally 5 minutes ago. Sean McVay says he expects Cooper Kupp to play on Thursday versus Minnesota. So big win, and they get their star wide receiver back. I don't know about Puka Nacua, but this is a big upgrade for this offense.
Yeah, it's a much needed key when you have one of the best players in the NFL, when healthy, come back on your side.
How special is Brock Bowers, right? The kid is phenomenal.
For what he's been doing so far, I understand some people be like, oh, Sam Laporta came on as a tight end as a rookie and lighted up, but Brock Bowers is on that same tier.
Yeah.
I understand he's not getting the shine because he's not on one of the best teams like Detroit was last year, but Brock Bowers is definitely having a great season.
Washington Commanders, they improved to 3-0 at home. Huge win. They blew, we don't got to really talk about it. They blew out the Cardinals by 33 points. Marcus Mariota comes in for Jaden Daniels. It was a hip injury. He came out of the game in street clothes. He gave a thumbs up and everything. His mom tweeted, he's fine. He'll be back. I think it was precaution. It was a game they really didn't need. And what world are we living in? Marcus Mariota, 18 for 23, over 200 yards, 2 tutties. Zach Ertz had a touchdown. What are we in 2016, kid? It was fun to watch.
Yeah, dude, looking like the number one overall, second overall pick all over again. Marcus Mariota, dude, looking like he came out of Oregon. He played well. 18 for 23, 205. I'm gonna say it once again.
It's the Panthers, though.
Yeah. But Cliff Kingsbury's going to have himself a job.
Oh, he's in his bag, yeah.
He's going to have – we know this game. They had a scoop and store. First possession was a pick six still. Yeah, it was over early. Washington, another dominated win, 40-7. Commanders, one of the biggest surprises of football. And not to throw dirt on top there, but Bryce Young came in and went 2 for 2.
It's done. We talked about it yesterday or last episode.
Garbage time. You can't get positive yards in garbage time.
Yeah, it's bad. I mean, it doesn't matter who's in, Andy Dalton or Bryce Young. It's like,
I know, but my thing is you can't get positive. You go 2 for 2 and got negative 4 yards. That's hard to do.
That is hard to do.
That's hard to do.
Yeah, no, that is really hard to do. I don't have words. I like you. I don't have words for it. It's actually really sad to see, but it's time. Andy Dalton should not be in. They should give it to Bryce Young. And then the last 4 o'clock game, we thought it was going to be the game of the week, and I was telling you right before. What happened?
It was ugly.
Yeah, no, it was. I was about to say it was supposed to be on paper a good game, but it got ugly. Really couldn't do anything offensively. Brock Purdy, probably his worst game of his career, 17 for 31, only 200 yards, 3 interceptions, QBR of 36. Steve Spagnuolo was just, he was in his bag. He was really in his bag. It was nice to see Ricky Purcell come back after getting shot. He had 2 catches for 21 yards. George Kittle had a good game, but outside of that, he really couldn't run the ball either. Kareem Hunt had a great game, 2 tutties for 78 yards. I mean, 5 interceptions from both. I mean, another bad quarterback play.
Super Bowl quarterbacks. 5.
Yeah, 5. Yeah. But we know Patrick Mahomes in primetime games or like standalone games, he does throw interceptions a lot, but he gets away with it. And we said this was our handicap. It was simple. And off a bye, Andy Reid, Mahomes as a dog, I'm going to take the Chiefs every time. And they cash again, kid, 28-18. Big win for the Chiefs, improved to 6-0.
Yeah, I was just shocked that the Chiefs were an underdog. Took advantage there. Brock Purdy, 3 interceptions. So one I'm gonna say, Steve Spagnuolo, when it was that goal line in the third or early fourth, still when he was able to get that turnover there, that pick, I was like, Steve Spagnuolo just diced him up. That was just straight pressure, And it's other guys that's getting the pressure. It's not just Chris Jones from up the middle. That's the most impressive part. You got young guys in the secondary stepping up. 2 out of the 3 picks were from rookies. They'll having their first career interceptions. Came against Brock Purdy today. Got to give credit to Steve Spagnuolo. Not a great win, but a solid win for the Chiefs. 49ers, realistically, besides the 2 big plays to George Kittle and then the rookie Cowing, Brock Purdy couldn't really do nothing against that defense still.
Nope.
You take away those 2 plays, they really couldn't do much. So give credit to that defense. And Patrick Mahomes didn't play like an MVP. Let's just call it what it is. But he got the job done. He had that huge scramble. I think it was like 30 or 40 yards, which was, kind of nuts. It was 33 yards. And then, the guy where we knew we was going to go, we both hit on him. You went with the carries. I went with the yards. Kareem Hunt. The market just got to adjust. I'm going to keep smashing him till the market adjusts. 2 tutties on the ground as well. Kareem Hunt off the couch has just been killing the league so far. And then when Travis Kelce only has 17 yards and you're able to beat a Super Bowl contender by 10 points still, that just speaks how well this team is really and how well they are coached. Give credit to Kansas City Chiefs, only undefeated team left.
They're the best team in the league, kid, and I think they prove it each and every week. It doesn't
right
matter.
Now,
yeah.
Right now, like just from looking, some people I can understand. Some people could say Detroit, but Chiefs are the best team in football.
Yeah. Well, you hit both locks. You gave out Hunter Henry over. You gave out Calvin Ridley over as well. Seahawks dog of the day cashes, your teaser cashes. So you sweep the board. My lock Lions cash. Texans came up short. I mean, they didn't play the best, but they, like you said, kid, they had every opportunity to win that game. My teaser cashes as well. So overall, 6-3 on the day for me. Kid, how did you do?
Another great day, Dill.
Let's go.
10-1.
Let's go.
If Devontae Smith doesn't get hurt, I have a shot to go 11-0. And I told the people I'll lean the Raiders +7. So your boy had a great day. Let's start early on. Like I said, Hunter Henry, lock of the day, 29.5 yards over. Calvin Ridley, my second lock of the day, over 39.5 yards. He went over. Jahmyr Gibbs, over 21 receiving yards. That number was too low. Cincinnati Bengals -5.5. Green Bay on the money line. I didn't want to lay the 3. And look, 2-point game. Look at that. Seattle, dog of the day. I told them +3 on the money line. Cashed to +130. Miami and Colts under 43.5. I was surprised it was at 43.5. And then with the teaser, Chiefs up to 7.5, Buffalo to -3, and Washington to -2. That cashes. Kansas City money line and Kareem Hunt over 49.5. That gives me 10-1 on the day.
Atta fucking boy, kid. That's 2 weeks in a row. After a slow month to the season,
we're cooking it out.
Yeah, we're cooking now, kid. Atta boy. Both good weeks here. How about Saturday? I know down go the Longhorns. I know your Longhorns didn't have a good game.
It's not my Longhorns.
Let's be honest. You were hyping them up.
You see what's going on, people.
Yeah, but you were hooking them.
I was hooking them. I'm not gonna lie. I did some hooks. I said hook them.
Even the Crimson Tide lost.
This was more hurtful, Dill.
Yeah.
I'm hurt. Tennessee.
Good win at home for They took down the goalpost again into the Tennessee River. That's a long walk.
Man, now can Alabama still make the playoffs?
Yes. 5-2 now. They have to win out.
They have to win out, and that's what worries me a little bit. Just because any loss could just you could make the case they don't deserve to be the top 12 with 3 losses, because there's going to be multiple teams. They could be like, oh, they faced a weak schedule, but they're 12-0, 11-0. They won their conference title.
And I don't know if they get back to the SEC title because they just lost to Tennessee.
It's going to be tough. You're going to make a case, though. Some of these teams not going to have the credibility, but they're going to have the conference title and the record.
You got a couple teams: Georgia 6-1, Texas 6-1, Tennessee, Texas, LSU sitting at 6-1. They had a big win as well. So a lot of good teams here in the SEC.
And I guarantee you, all those teams want to be in the top 12 now.
Yeah, 100%. I say this every week. Stop me from betting Louisville, and they always fuck me. Always, bro. +5, it doesn't cash. They lose by like 6 or 7 they lose by 7 to Miami. Cam Ward is just phenomenal. Yeah, he's going to be a top.
His stock is rising.
Yeah. It just looks like he makes every right play. Like, he looks like he is so developed as a quarterback. So, yeah, big win for Miami on the road. Clemson, Yeah, they lost early in the season, but they've rolled
Mm-hmm.
after that, Clemson. They're a top 10 team now. They blew out Virginia at home, Notre Dame. They big win at home or on the road, excuse me, against Georgia Tech. Indiana, whoop, whoop. They wind up smoking Dylan Raiola in Nebraska at home. They said Indiana isn't a good team. They said Indiana hasn't played anyone. Now, what are they going to say now? Indiana 7-0, sitting at top of the Big Ten. This should be a top 10, top 12 team in the country. I think Indiana is for real, kid. What else? Missouri, close game at home against Auburn. They do sneak it out. Another 6-1 team in the SEC. SEC is big. Oh, it was so good to see the team up north lose. It's so good to see 4-3. They're not good. They're done. Their season's done. I'm sorry. I gotta laugh a little bit, but Illinois, big win, 6-1 at the in the Big Ten. They win at home 21-7. Shout out the Naval Academy, 6-0. They blow out Charlotte. I hope they make the playoff. I really do. I hope the Naval Academy or the Army, because they're both top 25. Army 7-0, Navy is 6-0. Army with the big win as well. Imagine them getting into the playoffs on the triple option. That would be fucking nuts. I would love it. Rutgers, tough loss at home against a bad UCLA team. They had one win. They were 1-5 going into this game. That's a bad loss for Greg Schiano and the boys.
Still. And the tough part is it was the homecoming game.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of our friends were in attendance. My man Keith was there. Then he came to the wedding. You know, a lot of people was riding on Rutgers. So it's going to be a tough weekend, tough week for, the Brunswick area. But tough loss.
Yeah, big loss for them. Hopefully they'll bounce back. They're on the road against USC next week. And speaking of USC, I don't know how they lost on the road against Maryland. Maryland, big win at home. As a 14-point underdog, you go out and win at home. Big win for the Terps. We coming, Bulls. The Buffaloes, baby, 5-2, 3-1 in the Big 12. Colorado blows out Arizona 34-7. Travis Hunter does come out of the game, but it's nothing serious. He is fine. Coach Prime said after the game, another big game for Shedeur Sanders, 23 for 33, 250 yards and 2 touchdowns. So big game from the Colorado Buffaloes. They continue to roll. Florida, big win at home against Kentucky. Billy Napier is saving his job over there in Florida. But outside of that, pretty good weekend for me. I go 3-3. I lost some of my player props, but the sides and the totals I were hitting. But yeah, outside of that, 3-3 in week 8 in college football. How did you do?
Yeah, I went 0-3. That's 2 back-to-back weeks for your boy in college. I apologize on that, people, but we are on an historic pace on our NFL these past 2 weeks. So
we're making it up in
I'm making it up for it. Yeah. So I would be sorry, but I'm not sorry because I gave y'all 2 locks.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, no, I hear you. No, you gave out 4.
No, but
4.
2 were, I told you put money on it.
I know. All right, okay. Before we get to this doubleheader, let me tell you guys about our sponsor. We are brought to you each and every episode by Viva Tequila Seltzer, the most refreshing hard seltzer on the market, hands down. There's no wonder why Viva was voted #1 hard seltzer in the world by San Francisco World Spirit Competition, with only 88 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and a light 4.5 ABV. Viva is the perfect drink for your post-game celebration, as it was created with that active lifestyle in mind. We flavored tequila seltzer because flavor is the spice of life, and we like our drinks with just a kick, just like how we like our lives. Whether it's Huckleberry playing around a golf with the boys or a new flavor coconut watching Monday Night Football, it doesn't matter. Our flavors pair perfectly with that artisanal Blanco tequila for that subtle and refreshing drink. Our belief here at the Dream Wager and at Viva is to live long, live well, and live it up. All right, kid, let's get to it. Monday Night Football. We got a doubleheader. First game, 8:15, and it is down in Tampa Bay where the Buccaneers host the Baltimore Ravens. Ravens opened up a -5 favorite. It's come down to -3.5 right now. Total sitting at 50 even. Money line for the Ravens, -188 on the money line, +160 for the home dog. How do you like this one? Baltimore, 4 in a row. Can they make it 5?
Dale, I can't lie. Baltimore Ravens have been rolling. This is what 4 straight weeks now. Got to give it credit. Baltimore's been looking like one of the best teams in football last 4 weeks. But Tampa Bay and Baker Mayfield has been balling. Dale, that offense. The offense has been more impressive than the defense. I'm gonna go with my gut on this one, Dale. I do think Tampa Bay is live in this game. I do give you that. I think Tampa is live. Wouldn't be shocked one bit if they pull it out. I'm gonna go Baltimore first half -1.5. Um, I think they're gonna come out prepared. Hunter Henry that offense. I mean Hunter Henry. Derrick Henry that offense has been rolling. And one thing that's been surprising and I'm excited to see is Lamar in that passing game. Zay Flowers back-to-back weeks over 100 yards. Mark Andrews is getting a little more involved. Isaiah Likely as well. Derrick Henry has just been running the ball great, and then Lamar passing and rushing. Still, I'm gonna go with the Ravens first half -1.5. And like I said, I wouldn't be shocked one bit if Tampa pull off this win and maybe in the second half comeback. I expect Baltimore to be up halftime, maybe by a touchdown or so, and I expect Tampa to make things interesting. I'll lean the +3.5, but I'm gonna go Baltimore first half.
I got a few player props. I do lean Baltimore here. For the total, I lean under. Do lean under. But I'm gonna go Derrick Henry over 81.5 rushing yards. He's been balling. He leads the league in rushing, 704 yards. He has 8 touchdowns. The kid out of Alabama, 5.9 yards per carry. And he did struggle against the opener, but after that, he's just been trending upwards ever since then. He's hit this over rushing yard 4 straight games. He had 132 yards in week 6, 199 in week 4. Tampa, they're 12th in the league versus stopping the run, but I just think Derrick Henry is just too good right now, and they don't just have to hone in on one running back. They got to hold in on Lamar Jackson as well. So I just don't see them stopping him. So I think he's going to get plenty of opportunity to run the ball and take full advantage of this defense. So, yeah, I'm going to take him to continue to run the ball well. Give me Chris Godwin as well over on the Buccaneer side. Over 6.5 receptions at -102. I think he's been one of the best receivers that he's had, obviously outside of Mike Evans. 43 gabs for 511 yards this season. He was Mike Evans was nursing that hamstring, remember, back in week 6 against the Saints. So after that, Chris Godwin had to step up. He had 11 catches for 125 yards, 2 touchdowns, probably his biggest game in a while. So, he's actually hit this over in 3 of the 6 games so far. So I think Mike Evans is still a little nicked up. I don't think he's 100%. So I just think there's reason to believe there could be another big game for Chris Godwin. So over 6.5 receptions as well. And then my last prop is going to be Baker Mayfield over 1.5 passing touchdowns. It's at -108 as well. I just think he's reinvented himself in Tampa Bay, the new offensive coordinator. Everyone, all the smart people, remember, they told us it was Dave Canales. They told me it was Dave Canales. It's not Dave Canales. I think Baker's just legit. 15 touchdowns this season for over 1,400 yards. His completion percentage is over 70%. So he has been picked off 5 times, but, I just think he's flourishing down in Tampa. 10 of his 15 touchdowns have come by Godwin and Evans as well. So he's hitting his big stars. And we know how Baltimore's defense kind of takes his foot off the gas, especially in the fourth quarter. So in I don't want to say garbage time, because I do think it's going to be a close game. You just got to think Mayfield is going to be throwing the ball a little. So he's hit this in 3 straight games. He had 4 touchdowns against the Saints, and I just think he's going to go. I think he has a lot of confidence right now. So I think the Buccaneers will be able to put some points up. So yeah, give me Baker Mayfield over 1.5 touchdowns, Chris Godwin over 6.5 receptions, and Derrick Henry over 81.5 rushing yards. Thoughts on those plays, kid? You like them?
Yeah, I like him. I honestly do lean Henry over just because I know he's gonna get the attempts, and I expect Baltimore to have a lead and try to kill some clock. And like you were saying, Dale, we seen countless times this season where not Baltimore taking their foot off the gas, but they've just simply been a much better first half team than second half team. They've been just haven't been great at closing games, and that's why I went with the first half play.
Breaking news,
Oh
unfortunately, we
shit!
just talked about the San Francisco 49ers. Kyle Shanahan has said Brandon Ayuk has tore his ACL.
Wow.
We saw him get carted off.
Yeah.
Very bad. You just hate to see it. I don't want to go backwards, kids, but it just came out and I wanted to relay the message to you. But big blow for the 49ers team, right?
Yeah, big blow for the 49ers just because, you just gave him that deal. Now he
Yeah.
got an ACL. Let's see how long that takes. Hopefully he recovers. And we know Brandon Ayuk went healthy. We know he had a rough start to the season, just honestly one good game. But we know Brandon Ayuk. We saw through countless playoff runs. You could depend on him. And when he's healthy, he's a pretty good wide receiver. So hopefully he bounces back, Dill. But it's a tough blow for the 49ers and my fantasy team right now.
And your fantasy team, exactly.
You know why? Because I have
yeah.
Rashid Rice. So
Oh.
that's 2 wide receivers, ACLs.
You have 2 IR spots or just 1?
2, but what's the point? They both got torn ACLs.
Yeah, no, it's done. All right, kid, let's go to the 9 o'clock game. I don't know how long I'll be up for it. I'll say maybe the first half.
For the West Coast people, this is your game. Y'all finally got a game at night.
Yeah, exactly. Excuse me. Chargers on the road taking on the Arizona Cardinals. Chargers actually opened up the dog at +1. Now the line has flipped. They are the favorites, -1.5 on the road. On the money line, if you want to take them just straight up, -120, +104 for the home dog. They had a bye, came back, big win for the Chargers. Can they make it 2 in a row?
I think so, Dill. I'm going to lean the Chargers on the money line, just playing it safe. If you want to take the -1.5, you can. But I do think the Chargers do walk out of this game as the victors. -120 on the money line. I'm going to lean it, heavy lean. But my official play for the game is going to be a player prop, Dill. It's going to be Marvin Harrison over 50 receiving yards. I understand past 3 weeks, he had that little concussion injury. 2 weeks prior, didn't really get that much play. Went under this total. I expect them to be a little more involved in the offense early on and throughout the game. And I honestly think the Chargers are gonna try to they're gonna be up. They're gonna try to dominate time possession. The Cardinals gonna have to throw the ball to put themselves in a position to win this game. So I think Marvin Harrison should be impactful tomorrow. I hope he is, and I'm gonna take the over 50.5. And like I said, I'll lean the Chargers on the money line.
Yeah, I do lean Chargers on the money line. Or if you want to lay the 1.5, I do like that as well. Total, lean under. I do lean the under for the total. I think it's going to be a lower scoring game. I just don't trust the Cardinals to score points right now. 2 player props I do like. J.K. Dobbins, another running back, give me over 76.5 rushing yards. A little chalky at -145, but I do see some 77s at like -120, -115. So whatever, I still like over 77.5. Big performance from him in week 7. He carried the ball 25 times against a really good Denver team as well. 96 yards. He had a touchdown against a top 10 rush defense as well. So now you get Arizona, who they've given up 153 yards per game on the ground. That's bottom 4 in the NFL. Chargers, they rank 7th in time of possession, 5th on the road as well. We know what Jim Harbaugh wants to do. Run the ball. So we've talked about this up until the summer. As soon as we were doing our futures, they said we're going to run the ball. They draft Joe Alt for a reason. So give me over 76, 77, whatever you're comfortable with. I think JK has a big game. And I'm going to go Justin Herbert under 27.5 pass attempts. They're dead last in pass attempts per game. They're just averaging around 25 per game. And it just feels like a bonanza for Justin Herbert. He attempted 34 last week in a win against Denver, but I think that's kind of an outlier because before that, Herbert 27 in every game outside of that, and now it's setting at 27. I got to go under that, kid. LA, they've scored first in every game they've played this season, and they've kind of kept them in every game, which allows them to run the ball. That's the theme here tonight. It's run the ball, and they're going to lean on their defense. They have a pretty good defense, and I don't think they're going to ask Herbert to throw the ball over 30 yards, especially if they're up, which I anticipate them being. So I just think the formula remains consistent. They're not going to ask Herbert to do a lot. fewer passes, rely on your defense, rely on your run game, and you're going to come out of there with a win. So give me under 27.5 pass attempts and J.K. Dobbins over 76.5 rushing yards. You like those, kid?
Yeah, I like those, Dale. I also like J.K. Dobbins anytime touchdown at minus 130, Dale.
Yeah.
Didn't go to the window with it. Like I said, I lean the Chargers. That would be my play. If anything, if you want to put that in a parlay, my official play is Marvin Harrison over 50 receiving yards. But if you want to do Marvin Harrison over J.K. anytime touchdown with the Chargers money line, hey, who knows? But those are just my feels for the game. But officially, Marvin Harrison over.
All right, I love it, kid. Well, good luck. Let's end week 7 in the NFL really strong. Even if we go defeated, which we probably won't, we're still in the positive for another positive week here on the Dream Wager. So let's end the week strong, kid. Let's go over to the hardwood. We haven't said that in a while. You are NBA Guru. We will lead it off with you. NBA opening night. We will kick it off with the best game, I think, on paper. We got the defending champ, Boston Celtics, raising their banner, getting their ring against my New York Knicks. Opened up 4.5. Money's actually come in on the defending champs. They're laying 5.5, depending on what book you look at. Minus 205 on the money line for the Celtics, plus 172 for the Knickerbockers. Over-unders at 223. Kid, you give my team a chance here?
Absolutely, dude. You know, it's always a tough night for the team that's, you know, raising the banner. One, you want, as a Knick, as an opponent, you want to upset their night. And, you know, I'm not saying all, some are gonna, you know, be overwhelmed with emotions, you know, getting their first ring, seeing their banner go up. So, you know, maybe the Celtics start slow. Not all players, but some players, I wouldn't be shocked if they start slow, start a little off, and the Knicks are coming out with aggression early on. You know, we know what their Knicks' intentions are this season. We saw the moves they made in all season. This is a win now team. And I think they're going to make a statement in game one. Give me the Knicks plus 5.5 on the road. I'll say even a little sprinkle on the money line at plus 172. You know, not the best number, but I love the plus 5.5. And then, like, I was seeing this during our features deal. The Celtics are live to run it back. Pains me to say, but it's true. It's true, Dill. I have this guy, a little sprinkle on the MVP. I'm going to say he has a big game opening night. Give me Jaylen Brown over 23.5 points. This man was disrespected not being selected for the Team USA Olympic team. I think he's going to go out there, possibly give you a 30 piece. Might come in a loss, but he might give you a 30 piece. He might. Give me Jaylen Brown over 23.5 points and give me the Knicks plus 5.5.
Yeah, I'm going to start with a New York Knick prop. I do lean the plus 5. I do think, you know, raising their championship banner, I think they're going to be a little slow to the foot a little bit. So I am going to take the Knicks plus the 5.5. They are going to be without Kristaps Porzingis. He is expected to miss the first month or two. And I just think Mikal Bridges, obviously re-signing OG, getting Cat as well. I just think this roster is built to match up with the 76ers. And I think getting rid of Julius Randle is really going to help. So, and thankfully now Josh Hart doesn't have to play 48 minutes a game. So I do lean Knicks plus 5.5, but player props, I took Karl Anthony Towns over 20.5 points. I think the spacing really helps, you know, putting him on the court is really going to be able to space out. And then last year when the Wolves matched up with the Celtics, he had a really good game, 25 points, 13 boards, 6 assists. And they were without their point guard running their offense. Now he's paired with Brunson, who I just think is one of the best point guards in the league. And they're going to be without Porzingis. So we're probably going to get Xavier Tillman on Cat. I think Cat could have a really big game here. So yeah, I'm going to take Cat. And then I'm going to fade Jason Tatum under 27.5 points. I think this is a big number, especially for the opener. No Porzingis, and he was under this number in 11 of 22 games without Porzingis last season. So I just think this is a brutal spot for him against a good defensive team in the Knicks. So I think OG will probably defend Jason Tatum for most of it. And he's under this line in 5 of the 6 games versus OG last season. So OG has had his number 27 in the points is just a really big number on opening night for Jason Tatum. So going to fade him in this spot. Let's go to the second game, unless you have anything else for this game.
Nah, that's all, Dale.
Let's go to LA. The Lakers are hosting the Minnesota Timberwolves. Line hasn't moved for this one. Total has come down. Opened up at 225. It's gone down to 223. Minnesota short favorites here on the road. -1.5, -118 on the money line. +102 for the Lakers. Over under, like I said, is at 223. What do you like for the side? And do you agree with the line movement? Do you like the under?
Yeah, I do, Dale. I don't expect offenses, the first few games to explode. Do I expect LeBron, AD, D'Lo, any of them to give us like a 35, 40-point game one? No, though I don't. I don't expect that from the other side either. Can Ant-Man probably go crazy? Yeah, but 40-piece game one, I don't know, Dale. So I'll do lean the under. I expect both. Remember, Minnesota was the number 1 defensive team last year, and we know the Lakers, when healthy, they're a solid defensive team. Not great, but they're solid. So I do agree with that. But I'm gonna go with Minnesota, Dale. I'm gonna lay the -1.5. Take the money line, whatever you want. I'm gonna go with Minnesota on the road. I like I said, Dale, I got this team a little sprinkle to win the West. I like the Lakers. I don't love the Lakers. I just honestly think they're just overmatched. And like I said, Minnesota's one of the best defensive teams in all of basketball. I know in the fourth quarter it's going to be hard for these Lakers to run their plays. And then let's not forget, first game, J.J. Redick, head coach. So let's see how he reacts to things late in the game and stuff like that. His rotation as well. Interesting to see. So give me Minnesota -1.5 or on the money line, whatever you like. And then give me LeBron James over 6.5 rebounds at -125. His career average is 27, 7, and 7. LeBron's going to get 7+. We know, especially in the fourth quarter, he's going to play the fourth. AD is going to play the 5. I think this number's too short, though. I wouldn't be surprised if he's somewhere, 8 to 10 rebounds, 8 to 10 assists. I think his point prop is a little high. I think it's 24.5. I wouldn't be surprised if he's like at 21 and 22 points, and then assists and rebounds are over. And then I also lean Rui Hachimura over 12.5 points. I think if the Lakers want to be successful this season, Rui Hachimura has to be a little more aggressive offensively, and so does Austin Reeves. If those two guys just start taking more shots, being a little more aggressive, we could see this Lakers team possibly be better than we were last year. But till then, I got to see it. But I'm going to lean Hachimura over 12.5 points.
What a game. Last preseason game for Dalton Connect. He had 35 points. Kid is good, man. I'm telling you, much better than Bronny. I gave out the Timberwolves on the money line a few days ago when we were doing our Minnesota futures. I like them again. Lay the 1.5. Am I missing something here? I feel like the Lakers rotation virtually hasn't changed. I like J.J. Redick, Duke legend, but they have a guy with virtually no coaching experience, and it's hard for me to imagine them bursting out of the gates and beating a Western Conference finalist. I just don't understand where I think they have a lot to prove as well. I think Anthony Edwards took that Western Conference final to heart. I think he has a lot to prove this year. I just don't think this is a good spot. Yeah, I get that they're home, but yeah, I love Minnesota here at home as well. I gave it out a few days ago, but I'd still lay the -1.5. No player props for me in this one. But yeah, okay, that's about it. We'll see you guys on Wednesday. We'll talk about WNBA finals. We'll talk about World Series. Shout out the Yankees. They did get to the World Series. Easy road. We'll give them that easy road. But Kid, any last words before we get up out of here?
Nah, Dale. Let's just good luck to the Jets. Good luck to the Mets still tonight. I did take the Jets, so hopefully we continue our hot streak. And for all the Yankee fans out there, eat up.
Exactly. Good luck. God bless. We'll see you guys.